Hi y'all, it's me. I am here to share with you a project I created for Stamperia. Stamperia is the company I mentioned to you a week ago. I showed you their 2017 paper release, and I will link that video below for you so you can check it out. I'll also link their shop where you can purchase the papers, and please go check it out. Yes, shipping, you have to pay shipping, but the paper is so inexpensive it kind of compensates for that. So just stock up on paper when you order, that way it makes it worth what you pay for your shipping. Anyhow, I will go ahead and share with you my project, and when I'm done sharing with you my project, I'll do a brief little tutorial on how I put it together, but I won't show you the whole entire process, just the base, because then you can figure it out from there. So let me start by showing you this beautiful paper collection. I don't have a whole lot left, but I have enough still to create with, which is nice. So this one is called Around the World, and it's a very travel looking kind of collection. And as you can see, I've used pieces and bits, and I have some still left, so I can still create with it. And it's a very pretty collection. And what I thought of when I saw this is my bucket list. I want to go to Paris one day, and so I thought of something I could take with me to Paris when I was traveling, whenever that time comes. So let me share with you what I've created. I made this simple little travel journal to take with me, and as you can see on the cover, I've used the beautiful paper from that collection, which features the Eiffel Tower and some road maps from Paris and all of that. So I used a die that I have in my stash to create this black trim here, and then this is a prima flower, a crochet doily, some twine and some leaves and some stamen in the back, and I then randomly tucked some black pearls on the background there. I didn't want it to be too bulky because this you have to carry when you're traveling, so you don't want it to be so much that it gets knocked off. On the side here you can see it has a nice spine with using the reverse side of that same piece of paper, and then on the back I've used a different piece from the collection to finish it off, and there's the other side. Now what's really fun about this is when you open it up, there's a lot to look at. So the first thing is just this little travel journey, little cards from Tim Holtz. I have a die that I used to cut out the airplane, and I've inked everything with black ink all around the edges just to kind of give it that vintagey look. As you can see, the paper there in the background, it's very pretty, all coordinating, so it looks really nice together. This has to be flat as there's a magnetic closure here, so that when it's closed it does stay closed, it doesn't flap open. And then when you open the next part, I will open this up like this so you can see. I'll show you the middle section. Well, let me show you an overview first. That's the whole book here, right there. So let's start right here. What I did on this side was I added a little cutout from the collection. It says postcard, and I just layered that on some black cardstock with some foam dots underneath. This little clothespin says bonjour, and these are some postcards which I cut from the collection just to add them in there to show that you can store your postcards in there for when you're traveling, and then you have them ready to mail out. I had this long policy envelope which was too long for the book itself, so I made a flap over, and that will hold stamps down in that little pocket there, so you can tuck your stamps in. I cut this from the collection, which is really nice, from Around the World. And then these are some stickers that I had. I just inked up everything on this. Now once you take out your stickers, or your postcards rather, and you can see here I have a couple from the collection. Once those are out, you have this little envelope to store all your memorabilia, whatnot in there, and then you flap it down and you have a place for a photograph. This is another cutout from the paper collection. I just fussy cut it. And then down below I fussy cut a hot air balloon from the collection, another sticker there that says Travel the World, and a photo mat so you can place photos. This is lifted off so a photo can tuck right under it. So I thought that was really a nice way to utilize that area there. Now as we bring it over to the side here, oops, sorry, you're going to see in the middle there's a pen that I did with elastic up on the top there, and I have a metal piece on top of the area that I secured it with so that you could hold it in place while you're traveling. You won't lose your pen. However, you can take it out, as well as this. I used this little book that I purchased, and I used a cutout from the collection here, a sticker that I layered, and then a metal piece here. And this is held on by a belly band right there. As you can see, I used the paper there in the background, and then the belly band is here that holds this book. And this book can go around with you while you're traveling in Paris to jot down any memories or any things that you need to remember while you're on your journey through Paris. So I thought this was a really clever little thing to take with you. You just, at the end of this all, if I can do it on camera, because you know how this goes when you're on camera, you can't always do everything you need to do. You just slide it back up under there and push it back, and then it's ready to go. You close it up, and you have your little travel journal to take with you wherever you're going. So I hope you enjoyed that project, and let me show you basically how this cover came together, because the interior is just however you want to do it. The main part of this is the cover, so I can share that with you. Let me set this aside for a moment. So basically, to do the cover, you're going to need some chipboard. I use lightweight chipboard because by the time I layer cardstock and pattern paper and all of that, it makes it very sturdy. So you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 7 1/4 by 6 1/2, 2 of those. Then you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 7/8 by 6 1/2. You need 2 of those right here. And then you need this piece, which measures 3 inches by 6 1/2 inches. So you only need 1 of this. Then you need 4 strips of paper that measure 6 1/2 by 2 inches, and you need 4 of those. This is to join the pieces together, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. So the first thing we want to do is we want to lay this out the way it would go, which is basically like this. And I will back up my camera for just a minute. Hopefully you can see it better. There we go. There you go. Excuse my tripod there. As you can see, I have the pieces laid out how they go in to create the book cover. What I do first is I take a piece of this that I cut 4 of, and you're going to take one of these little strips, and you're going to, I would use wet glue for all of this, but for the purposes of the video, I'm just using double-sided tape. So you just take off your double-sided tape. I would, again, wet adhesive is best. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump that. And you're going to set this right down in the center of your piece there. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to kind of get it down the center right there, like that. Once you do that, you're going to take this piece and you're going to start to add the other pieces. And for this, I will use a little wet adhesive because I just want to kind of show you. You're going to go ahead and put some wet adhesive on your project like this. Just go down, leave a little gap there. You don't want it all the way to the edge. And then you're going to lay this piece down, leaving about, maybe 1/8 of an inch. You just want a small gap there. So you're going to go ahead and do that with all the pieces that you have all the way across, repeating the same process that you did for this. Just like that. Just make sure you leave those little gutters for you want the book to be able to bend and move. So that's what you need that for. And if you just press it down, it should stay really nicely in there. And I will do the same thing. I will do the same thing on this piece. You just get your pieces and you release the adhesive along the back, place it on the center of that 2-inch strip that I showed you, just like that, and then you're going to glue this one down just like you did the other. Remember, we've cut 4 of the black pieces, so you have to keep that in mind when we're going to be using those in just a moment. So you're going to go ahead and lay this down just like that. And now you have basically your book cover completed. Now you just need to go back and cover it with your cardstock and cover it with whatever it is that your paper of your choice, and hopefully it's Stamperia. The second piece you're going to put, and you're going to layer it here, and you're going to glue it on top of the other section there. So you're going to do that with both of the pieces. right there. Just like that. Once you do that, and I will just show you with this one, I won't bother to show you with the other one because it's just time consuming. You want to take you're going to start to bend this in those creases, and I like to use a mat or either a mouse pad or something like that, and you're just going to run your bone folder or whatever, something down that crease, so that when you start to bend this, it'll train the paper where you need it to go. See that? It'll train it, and just start to do that. You're going to do that all the way across. Of course, I didn't glue this down properly, so just keep doing that, and when you're done, you're going to see that you're going to have that cover just like that. I added a couple of magnets here so that the cover could stay closed. That corresponded with the matching magnet on this piece here, and that's what kept it closed. So basically, that's how that was created. Now I will show you this once again, this beautiful travel journal. And don't forget to shop at Stamperia. You are going to love, oops, sorry, I wanted to bring that in just a little tighter for you. And you want to make sure to look at all their beautiful paper collections like this around the world. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, do what makes you happy. Bye for now.